morning, everybody. This is completely unrelated to the video, but I just felt the need to tell you that I just did a perfect parallel park on the first try, which doesn't happen because I actually, fun fact, never learned how to parallel park. It was not part of my driver's test, so I've been having to teach myself, and I did it in one try. I can't believe it either. Should I keep that open? Yeah, the sun's actually beautiful right now. Hi, everybody. It's been a long time. It hasn't really been that long, you know, in the grand scheme of things, but it's been a while since I've made a video. That's not what this video was about, but wanted to say that. It feels weird to sit and vlog, but I really wanted to make this vlog, and now I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing, what this vlog is about. Today's vlog is gonna be a summer reading vlog. It is summer, it's June. Today is June 3rd, specifically. It's actually New Release Tuesday. New Taylor Jenkins Reid book is out today. Can't even think about it though, because my TBR right now, my physical TBR is miles long. And the purpose of this video is that I am currently in the middle of 4 different books, all contemporary romances. I feel like that's really my vibe in the summer, is contemporary romance. Just kind of feels like I want to read like the little fun, flirty books. It's either that or mysteries set at the lake or a summer camp. And there's really no in between. I keep getting distracted. I'm a mood reader. So I'll pick up a book and then I'll just put it down because I start feeling like I want to read another one. And then they kind of just sit there. And now I'm halfway through 4 different books. But I'm starting this video at the beach. I wanted to sit at the beach and read a little bit, read one of the books. I only brought 2 of them. 2 of them I have the physical copies. 1 of them I have on Kindle. 1 of them I've been listening to the audiobook. I live right by the beach. This is the first time I've gotten to come to the beach here in weeks because I've been traveling, and I just wanted to have a nice morning. I went and got a coffee. This is an iced latte with vanilla and coconut. So good. My new favorite combination, especially for the summer. I love coconut. And I got an acai bowl that I wanted to bring and eat on the beach this morning. So I'm gonna have a nice little moment and read one of these books. I don't know which one I want to do yet. The 2 that I have with me are Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren, which I started reading a few years ago after I finished Every Summer After, which has to do with the second book that I have here. Started reading Love and Other Words right after Every Summer After because I was told by a lot of people that it kind of had similar vibes, and it does, but I feel like that's also the reason I started it and then put it back down, because I just read that and it wasn't the exact, I mean, I don't know, like I just was over it kind of, so I restarted it completely a couple weeks ago because I remembered I had to download it on my Kindle. So I have that. Then circling back to Every Summer After, I also have the newest Carly Fortune book, One Golden Summer. This is a kind of interconnected standalone with Every Summer After. They take place in the same setting, Barry's Bay, and one of the characters from Every Summer After, the older brother, Charlie, is the male main character of this book. PSA, I highly recommend that you read Every Summer After before this one. There are just some parts that I feel like you won't get the full effect of if you don't have all the Every Summer After knowledge. You can read it in whatever order you want, but that's just my 2 cents. So this one I am not very far into. I think Love and Other Words, I was reading that one last night, so I think I'm about halfway. So I don't know which one I want to do today, this morning. Enough of the chit chat. I'm gonna go get on the beach, set my shit up, pick a book. We'll see. But welcome to the vlog. It's really windy, so I hope you can hear me, which is why I brought this to use as a microphone. I started Love and Other Words because that is the one that's on my Kindle, and I started reading it when I was eating, so it was just easier to like hold the pages down. And now I'm invested. I am 58% of the way through. I have an hour and 14 minutes approximately left in the book according to Kindle. I'm not going to be giving any spoilers in this video, so don't worry about that if you have not read this book. But I'm at such a juicy ass part right now. The premise of this book pretty much is that the 2 main characters, Macy and Elliot, they met when they were teenagers at a
lake cabin, something like that, became friends, more than friends, and then there was a falling out and they haven't seen each other for like 10 years, and they bump into each other in San Francisco area, which is where they both live. Both of them had started other relationships, literally hadn't seen each other, talked about what happened 10 years ago, and there's a person, sorry. So we see them run into each other, and we're kind of just following the aftermath of that. And also we know that something happened 10 years ago with them, and which is why they had the falling out and haven't talked since, but we just don't know what it is. And I still don't know what it is, and I feel like I'm about to find out what it is, and I'm really excited. I want to know the tea. I wish I cared less about vlogging in public, but I do feel so awkward, even though like I'm at the beach. Who gives a f? Like no one's paying attention to me. Anyway, it's a beautiful day. I really want to finish this book. I only have an hour and 14 minutes left. I feel like I could finish it here. Every chapter alternates between present and past. So right now I am reading about 11 years ago, and the next chapter will go back to like the present day and what's happening there. So piecing together the story as we go, and I need to know what happened.
Hello everybody. Yesterday I finished Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. I haven't really been in the practice of rating my reads unless I feel really strongly about the rating. So I don't really know like what I would rate it. I mean, it was good. I really liked the two main characters. I definitely wasn't expecting the ending, like what kind of the catalyst was for them to not talk for 10 years. I expected part of it, but then the other part I was like, oh shit. Once I hit kind of the last 15% of the book or so, I was just flipping so fast, like click, 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 click. I just wanted to know what was going on. But then at the end, I thought it was the end of the book, and then there was an epilogue. It was all from Elliot's perspective of kind of the key parts of their relationship that we just read about. It felt kind of similar to Every Summer After, which I know a lot of people have said, and I said that earlier. I was kind of expecting it to have the same ending as Every Summer After, and I was about to be like, really? But it didn't, thank God. I'm glad that it didn't. It wasn't my favorite romance read of all time, probably because I read Every Summer After first, and I loved that one so much. But it was good. I liked the main characters a lot. It was also just like a nice quick read. Then yesterday, I went to a restaurant to go like pick up some food and take it out for dinner, and while I was waiting for my food, I brought my book, One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. I mentioned this one yesterday as well. I brought this with me so that I could read a little bit of it while I was waiting, and then I ended up last night reading some more. So now I think I'm almost halfway through this one. I'm on page 188, chapter 28. I really want to finish this book today. A little bit about this book. This is, like I said, an interconnected standalone with Every Summer After, which I just keep referencing because I loved it. But it takes place in the same place, Barry's Bay. It's in Canada. This one, the male main character is Charlie, who is the brother of Sam, who was the male main character in Every Summer After. And then the female main character in this book is Alice. She is visiting the lake for the summer with her grandma. They're staying at their grandma's friend's cottage, and Alice actually had spent one summer at this cottage before. It was the summer she was 17 years old, and it was during the same time that Sam and Charlie and the female main character from Every Summer After, and when that book was taking place, she was there at the same time as them, but they didn't know each other. Alice was gifted a camera, and she took a photo of Percy, Sam, and Charlie, and that's kind of what started her photography interest and love, and it became her career. Now she lives in Toronto. Now she's spending the summer at the lake with her grandma in the cottage, and she meets Charlie. Charlie is described as a shameless flirt. So true. Always has been. She kind of gets like douchey vibes from him. We're seeing a different side to Charlie throughout this, which I think is so sweet. And also I feel like she's bringing out a different side of him, which is one of my favorite things in books. There's more to the male main character than meets the eye, and it's brought out by the female main character, if you know what I mean. Charlie and Alice are different, but I also feel like they have a lot of similarities, and they're like learning as they progress in their friendship that they have a lot in common, but they're also like pulling out different sides of each other. It's very sweet. That's where I'm at right now. I just really love this setting. The vibes of this are so good. I want to get back into reading this, see how far I can get. It's also really overcast and cloudy today, and it's supposed to be raining for the next couple days, so I figured this was a good time. Oh wow, the lighting sucks. Figured this was a good time to get cozy and get back into my book. I love reading when it's shitty outside. Morning world. It is once again the next day. That was not my intention last night. I was planning on finishing up my book, which I did, and then I was gonna cook with you guys and listen to my other book, my audiobook, but then I got some really sad news, and I'm gonna make my bed while I say this, because if not, I'm gonna start crying again, because literally last night I cried for like 6 hours straight. My eyes are so puffy. I'm including this because number one, it's happening, I guess, I don't know. Number two, I plan on reading all day today because, well, at least for as long as I can, because reading makes me happy. I just want a distraction. But okay, let me just stop being annoying. Long story short, my first cat, Fluff, my real ones know Fluff. She's our first family cat. I've had her for almost 16 years. She has not been feeling well. My mom took her to the vet yesterday. She takes her to the vet regularly, but yesterday they did a really good, like, I guess, examination of her. Felt a mass in her stomach. She just, in the last week, has really gone downhill. And at the vet yesterday, they made the decision that they were gonna send her over the Rainbow Bridge. And that is happening today, later this afternoon, without doing any blood work or biopsies or like looking into her stomach and doing a scope, which she has done before. She's gotten scopes done before at the internal medicine vet when we found out she had internal inflammatory bowel disease. Sorry. But he felt a mass in her stomach. He's pretty positive it's cancer, and she's 16. She's already been through a lot with her health. She's just in pain and so sad and lethargic and moving so slowly, and it is her time. The vet felt that way. Fluff apparently feels that way. I don't know. I'm not there, and that makes me so sad that I'm not there. I said goodbye yesterday over FaceTime. It was just really hard. I didn't film yesterday, obviously, while I was doing all of that until the appointment today later on. I just don't know how I'm gonna sit around and wait. Like, I just need to throw myself into another world, which is one of the reasons I just love reading so much. It does that for me, and it brings me so much peace and joy and happiness and an escape when I need it. Damn, this lens is so wide. Have I even filmed with this wide lens I got for this camera yet? I don't know if I have. It's so wide, like what the fuck? I made my favorite coffee this morning with brown sugar, cinnamon, and honey. I deserve this. Dude, I feel light years away from you guys back here. This is crazy. Anyway, so that's what's going on. Before I found out all this sad news, well, I kind of had a feeling that this was coming because the day before, my mom dropped the news to me that she had been not doing well for like a week. So I kind of was primed, but anyway, yesterday during the day while I was waiting for her to go to the vet appointment and get answers like definitively, I read this. I read One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. I had about halfway to go yesterday when I picked it back up. I ended up finishing it, and it didn't take that long. Like, I felt like I really flew through. I loved it. It was definitely different, I feel like, than what I've read before, which is great, especially in contemporary romance. I feel like so many stories kind of just all bleed into each other, and there's a formula. Our main character, Charlie, is just, I love that man. He makes himself emotionally unavailable. There's reasons for that, which you find out. Outwardly, he's very confident and like cocky and kind of has that like douchebag like vibe. But internally, he just doesn't really have that much faith in himself. And it's, I just love him so much. Like, it's crazy because Alice, our female main character, really brings out a side of him that even his friends and family notice. God, I love this man. I mean, seriously, that's my type. I'm sorry, that's my type. But I love this setting. I love that Sam and Percy from Every Summer After were in this book more towards the back half. I was so sad when this ended. There was an epilogue included in this one too, so like a year after the fact sort of thing, seeing where they're at now. I just want to like live in their world so bad. And that's one of my favorite things about reading, is it's just such an amazing, just like escape from your own world, which I mean, I guess saying that out loud, I'm like, I don't really want to escape from my own world all the time, because then it's like, I'm not really living, but that's not the point. I'm getting too existential with it. It's just nice. Like, it's fun to get to step into different worlds. So I really liked it, and I really hope she continues with the interconnected standalones. I feel like I can tell who the next one would be about. I feel like it might be about Charlie's friend Harrison. It was such a good summer read. Like, it takes place during the summer. So that's that. Next up, Beach Read by Emily Henry. I love Emily Henry's writing. I feel like this is gonna be the perfect read for me today. I am once again about halfway through. Also, I'm obsessed with this copy. It's beautiful. It's got the sprayed edges. So I'm about halfway through. This one is about January and Augustus. They're both writers. Augustus writes literary fiction. I'm just calling him Gus because Augustus is kind of a mouthful. January writes romance. They're living in neighboring beach houses. They also kind of have a past, like they met in college, kissed once at a party, had this like competition between them, sort of, at least from January's perspective. Like they were always kind of trying to one-up each other, I guess, in college a little bit. January's dad passes away. She goes to stay at his house. Sorry, it's been a kind of a second since I've picked this one up, but she's living in her dad's beach house for a few months, and Gus is in the beach house next door, and they reconnect. They're both suffering from writer's block. They're not feeling creatively inspired, and they kind of are challenging each other, like, oh, like, you just write romance. Oh, you just write whatever. I could do that. So then they decide to switch, and January is gonna write literary fiction and Gus is gonna write romance. So then throughout the book, they're kind of taking each other on these like research field trips and giving each other inspiration for their novels. Obviously they're like hanging out throughout that, and we're going from there. That's pretty much, I think, where we're at right now. I know they were just on a field trip, one of Gus's, to show January like about literary fiction and kind of his inspiration for how his process and everything. So that's where we're picking up. I remember being really into it, and then I think another book came out. Oh, I think One Golden Summer might have come out. I don't know. There was a lot of new releases at once, and I was like really overwhelmed, so I started reading something else. But that's where we're at now, and I'm gonna pick this back up. I just made myself my overnight oats. Well, they were already made, but I assembled them. Made my coffee, and I'm gonna sit down and just enjoy reading this lovely book that is not in my own world.
Rusty red on her shoulder, I was cleaning her shoe when it clicked on the trot over in the bright morning dew. We brushed and we braided dandelions into was a mutual arrangement we both saw into. Can she walk in the fire? Can she run in the rain? Can she make it up the mountainside? Can she make it down again? I have often wondered if she'll go and jump the fence. Will she keep on moving onward or stay in what could have been?
Hello everybody, welcome back to Home Cooking with Hannah. This segment just shows up everywhere and I love it. Hi, I don't actually remember the last thing that I vlogged. I also feel like this angle is kind of odd. I'm about to make myself some dinner. I'm gonna make a new recipe that I've never made before. Stuffed zucchini boats sort of thing. I don't know, I thought it'd be like fresh and good for summer. Found the recipe on the internet. I will link down below. But I figured now would be a great time to talk about, we're pivoting from beach read for a second. I read, well, listened to the entirety of Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez without saying a word about it. I told y'all that I was listening to it at the beginning of this video. I was about halfway through. I ended up flying through the rest of it. I've just been popping my headphones in and playing my audiobook while I'm doing literally anything, while I'm driving, while I'm doing laundry, anything around the house, cooking, cleaning, whatever. So I have been absolutely flying through audiobooks. So I completely finished that one and then immediately jumped into another one. I've found that I really enjoy listening to Abby Jimenez books. If you didn't know, it was Spotify Premium. You get a certain number of included audiobook listening hours. Spoiler alert, I went over my limit just yesterday and I did pay $12.99 to get the top off 10 hours so I can continue listening to this book because I'm not about to like stop now and wait a month to continue. But anyway, let me get the ingredients for my dinner. I need to remember what even is in this. Anyway, so I finished Say You'll Remember Me and then I picked back up Just for the Summer. I say picked back up because I started listening to it last year. I think I got about 17% of the way through the audiobook on Spotify and then naturally my attention went somewhere else. And then I never continued listening to it. So after I finished Say You'll Remember Me, I was just on my Abby Jimenez kick and I wanted to listen to something similar. So I started that up again and now I think I'm like 75% of the way done. I'm about to put my headphones in and listen to it while I'm cooking after I'm done updating y'all right now. Garlic powder is my favorite spice, if you guys are wondering. Basil, Italian herbs. Is it just Italian seasoning? Italian seasoning, salt and pepper. Is this God? No, dude, I hate it here. I hate it here. I don't know how to thaw. I feel like that's so stupid to say, but I'm gonna have to put it in the fucking microwave again. I hate doing that. I think it's disgusting. Anyway, so Say You'll Remember Me. We have our two main characters, Xavier and Samantha. Xavier is a vet. He runs his own vet clinic, and Samantha comes into his vet clinic with her cat because her cat needs medical assistance. That's why you go to the fucking vet. Xavier is like kind of an asshole to her. And she's like, kind of hate that, but I also like a challenge. How did they get to the point where they went on a date? I don't remember. I'm sorry, I really don't. But they end up going on a date. He asks her on a date and they have this like endless date and like stuff kind of goes wrong during the date, but it's funny because it's their first date. They barely know each other and they're experiencing it together. For all intents and purposes, it was a great first date. But then Samantha tells Xavier that she's actually moving across the country. They live in the Midwest. That is where they met. That's where Xavier lives, has his veterinary practice, and Samantha is moving across the country to California back with her family because her mom has dementia. She's moving back home to help care for her mom. They have this date, and then Samantha's like, peace, and Xavier's like, what? But I really like you, blah, blah, blah. It's definitely very, okay, this is so annoying. It's definitely insta-love, which isn't typically my favorite vibe in a romance book. I really like a broody, grumpy sunshine even guy that's kind of like an asshole and closed off, which I guess he is at first because I literally just told you that when they met, he was an asshole to her, but it was pretty instant love after that. 1 pound. Okay, perfect. So Samantha moves cross country. She's like, I don't really think this is gonna work. We barely know each other. We went on one date and now we would have to be doing long distance. But Xavier is already obsessed with her. Flies out to California. He's trying to make it work. All the while, we're learning more about Xavier's past with his parents. He had a very traumatic, tumultuous childhood and his parents are really shitty people. And Samantha's dealing with her family and trying to help her mom. The thing that I like a lot about Abby Jimenez's books is not even the romance part, because as I said, the romance sometimes feels too easy, and I'm saying that. It probably should feel easy. Like, falling in love probably should feel easy. This is part of the reason I'm in therapy. I don't know what a healthy relationship looks like in real life, but I like that there's always something else, like a plot happening aside from the relationship. I liked it a lot more towards the back half. I think the first half I was like, this is very insta-love, as I keep saying, and I was like, okay. But as we got into their like individual storylines, I really liked them. Now, as I said, I'm listening to Just for the Summer.
Just for the Summer is about Justin and Emma, right? I've read like 4 or 5 books in the last like week. I actually don't know who I'm talking about anymore. Justin posted on Reddit and basically was talking about how he feels like he's cursed because every time he has a girlfriend and they break up, the next person that his ex-girlfriend gets into a relationship with ends up being like the love of their life. So he feels like he's cursed and he's just kind of like a stepping stone for people before they can find the love of their life. Emma sees this post, reaches out to him on Reddit and is like, same. They start talking. They end up coming up with the plan that they're gonna date just for the summer and do all the relationship things that, hello? Turn over. Pause. Fuck, I hate this part. So they decide that they're gonna try to break this curse together so that both of them, after they break up from their fake relationship, can go on and find the loves of their lives. Emma and her best friend Maddie are both travel nurses and they do their assignments together, so they alternate picking where they're gonna go. In order to make this whole dating thing work, Maddie gives Emma her turn. They end up taking a travel nursing assignment where Justin lives. So they move into this cottage sort of situation on a lake. You literally can only get there by boat. It's actually comical. I, again, love all the side characters also. Maddie is so real. Justin ends up having to take custody of his younger siblings because his mom can't. I don't really think that's a spoiler of why he has to do that, but I'm just not gonna tell you anyway because you'll figure it out. But he ends up having to take custody of his younger siblings, kind of making him a single dad, even though he's their brother, but he's their guardian at that point. All the while, him and Emma are doing their little fake dating thing, going on their scheduled 4 dates. He's so funny though, like the way that Justin like prepares for the dates. He'll send her questionnaires and everything. Again, I really like them as main characters. So for all intents and purposes, they're dating to break their own respective curses. But of course, when you have a fake dating trope, you already know. Like you're just kind of waiting for them to like fall in love for real and then have somebody be in denial about it because they're like, oh no, it's just for the summer, like this is fake. They have their reasons for why they don't actually want it to be real and want to keep it in the safe, like comfortable fake zone and don't actually have to commit to anything. That's kind of the premise of that, and I'm really enjoying it. I like the voice actors a lot, and I think I like listening to the Abby Jimenez books because they have like a little bit of spice, but it's not to the point where I'm like trying to, I gotta like hold my earbud away from my head and be like, these people are having sex in my ears, you know what I mean? I feel like there's a lot more substance to the stories than just the relationship between the 2 main characters. Like there's just so many like side plots. Makes it something that I really enjoy listening to. My eyeballs are literally burning from that. Finally, the damn ground beef. It's literally not even gonna be completely thawed. This happened before and it was still frozen in the middle. It's just like fucking annoying. I am gonna get back to listening to Just for the Summer. Again, it's the perfect thing to listen to while I'm just doing tasks around the house, and specifically in the summer. I feel like Abby Jimenez books, they just have a summer feel to them. So I'm gonna get back to that, and I'm gonna cook my dinner, and then I'll catch up with you later.
Right, everyone, emergency press conference. I just finished the audiobook of Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. And I know I said at the beginning of this video that I wasn't planning on rating, like I just haven't really been rating my reads lately unless I feel strongly about them. Like I'm not trying to do the whole like 3.75, 4.25. Like it's just like, unless I feel strongly about it, I don't want to rate. I just don't really care. This book, I have to give it a 5-star. I have to give it a 5-star. I mean, going into it, I knew there was a lot of hype. I had read one other Abby Jimenez in the past, which was yours truly. And I feel like for a romance book to be 5 stars for me, it has to do something different. Like it has to stand out. I don't know. I feel like a lot of the time, which don't get me wrong, I love this. I love like the formula and just how like a lot of them feel very similar and cozy and familiar and just like a comfort giggly read, you know what I mean? But you know, there are also those that are above, that are doing something extra, and I loved everything about this book. I loved the relationship storyline. I loved each of the individual main characters' storylines. I loved the side characters. Everything about it, I have no notes. 5 stars to Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. Loved it. I'm gonna be thinking about that book, I feel like, for a while, and I feel like that is the mark of a really good book for me. If I think about it and it stuck with me in some way, I just feel like this is gonna be one of those. Naturally, since I still have some hours left that I purchased from my Spotify top off, I am just started another Abby Jimenez audiobook. I'm now listening to Part of Your World. This Part of Your World is the first book in this interconnected standalone series. So it's Part of Your World, Yours Truly, Just for the Summer. I'm just doing it completely out of order, but that's okay because they are interconnected standalone, so you don't actually have to read them all or like read them in order, but they just reference some similar characters. So now I'm listening to this first one and I already recognize a couple characters that had their own storylines fleshed out already, but I'm reading about the time before that, I guess, but I still recognize them, which is kind of nice. I'm not sure if I want to read any more Beach Read. I might, just until I get tired. I am here, chapter 23, so it's just gonna do the line thing. Sorry, I don't know, this camera, I don't know how to make that stop. Not a lot left, but I feel like I'm reading this one really slowly for some reason. The important thing that I've learned throughout filming this vlog is that I love everything that Emily Henry has ever written. This is, as I said, the last book that I have to read of hers that I haven't read yet, and I just love the way she writes so much. I love her main characters, I love the banter. I'm probably gonna get back into this and read a little bit more about Gus and January. I have been jumping around to so many different romance plot lines and main characters and situations in the last week and a half, but honestly I'm having so much fun, so. It's me again. This is the first clip I'm filming of this video in my reading nook, actually, which is crazy. It's a Saturday morning. It is once again cloudy, overcast. It has been for like fucking forever now, it feels like. I just went to the coffee shop. I got myself a latte. This is a peanut butter mocha latte, which if you're as big of a chocolate peanut butter fan or even just a peanut butter fan as me, you know what this means to me. It means everything. I also got my favorite yogurt bowl. I'm gonna sit here and eat this and drink my coffee and finish up Beach Read, our final book of this vlog. I'm almost done. Like, I have quite honestly a sliver left, but I stopped when I was reading it the other night because I wanted to read it with you. We can finish up this book, finish out this vlog together. I honestly might have like 10 minutes left maximum. Where were we? So much, everything about them. Clocked that. I love it when the worlds collide. another one. Oh my god, we have 2 cameos in this. This is so good. Oh, hell yeah. Love an Emily Henry story. I just really do. They just make me feel so good. I love her characters. I love her writing. Oh, I love that each of the characters also has their own like personal growth happening alongside the relationship growth. And there's always, this is my favorite thing about reading! Reading about other people going through things and like growing and evolving just feels so real. And I know it's a fictional story, but it was written by a human. So it is reflective of at least some part of the human experience. I've now read every single Emily Henry book. I already can't wait for the next one, which will probably, I don't even know when that's gonna be because she just released one a couple months ago, Great Big Beautiful Life, which I already read. I feel like I don't even know what to do with myself now. I'm gonna miss these people so bad. I want to be them, I fear. I need love like this to exist in real life. I need it to happen to me. All right, enough of the sappy shit. I'm done. I'm gonna stop. I'll save this for my therapy appointment that I have coming up next week. That was so good. I love it so much. I'm so sad I don't have another Emily Henry to read that I haven't read already. I can reread all of them, but like, you know, reading one for the first time, just learning the story for the first time is so beautiful. What a great end to this vlog. I've read and listened to some great books in this vlog, and I feel so happy. I just love a good romance in the summer so much. The vibes are exactly right. And that's all I have to say. That's gonna be the end of this video. I don't know what I would rate her. I feel like a 4.5. 4.5 feels right to me. My camera is about to overheat, so I'm gonna make this quick. Next, I'm reading Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I just finished Carrie Soto Is Back actually last night. Didn't even talk about reading that one in this vlog because I already had 4 or 5 other ones. 5 other ones that were mentioned, but I was reading that one on my Kindle too. I wasn't planning on picking that up in this vlog. I just decided to, and I finished it last night. So anyway, also let me know what's on your summer TBR or any books that you think I should read. Let me know in the comments, please, because I'm always looking for recommendations. Thank you so much for watching. I love you so much, and I'll see you next time.